Good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the home weather office on this Thursday morning. It's now the 25th day of September, 2025, and this is the morning briefing. Interesting morning. Yeah, yesterday was an interesting day with the showers and thunderstorms as expected. Some areas saw some areas not so much. And this morning, we're still seeing some of that activity, and we're still going to see a bit of activity in some areas today. However, it'll be more limited than what we saw yesterday. I'll show you all of that. And then we'll look ahead into next week because it does look as though there is a chance of rain next week, and not the kind of monsoonal cutoff low sort of thing, but more or less an early season kind of system sliding through California next week. We'll get to all of that in just a second. All right, what am I going to start with this morning? I'm going to start with the radar. Let me make that full screen for you. All right, so here we are for the Davis radar, and once again, because I'm recording relatively early this morning, around 7:30, we have a lot of ground clutter here on the west slope, but this is rain, that is not rain, and this is rain once again. Let me animate that because that will make it somewhat clearer. So you can see all the ground clutter here, but certainly these are showers, and you can see the way they're tracking, going off to the north and west. So they're circulating around this low that is still spinning around here. And yeah, we are getting some nice rain, but you can see the farther north it goes, they all dissipate. So I think once again, in parts of Amador County, Calaveras County, Tuolumne County, and later on today, Alpine County, and down into Mono County, I think we will be seeing more of the shower activity. We could perhaps see some activity around the Tahoe Basin, but I think it's going to be generally farther to the south as we go through the day. For places like Sacramento and Stockton, and let's say even Napa, probably nothing during the course of the day today. This activity will gradually swing to the south and likely to miss the valley. And there probably will be some thunderstorms mixed in with this as well. All right, let me close that, and then let's do this. Interesting satellite. Now, the satellite I usually use isn't updating this morning. So this is a slightly different view that I use. And by the way, you can see up here, College of DuPage. That's the site that I use, COD. And there are satellite images here. And so I've got a zoomed in view for you. And what I love about this view for you, it's black and white. Usually I show you some color, but this is just black and white. And you can see this is where I was showing you the showers. And you see how these little buildups are a little bit higher than, let's say, this area in here. And so this is where we have a few showers popping up, and certainly here into Nevada, these are very well defined with that early morning sun angle coming in almost from the due east. Now that we are right around the time of the equinox, the sun angle is due east basically. And so you see the shadows off of those clouds. And if I animate this, now keep in mind I'm recording early, so we're just getting the early morning sun on it. You can see that rotation that we saw on the radar, everything going off in this direction. Just like that. Some areas with clear skies, some areas with a mixture of sun and clouds. All in all, it's a pretty good looking morning. Oh, I know, I forgot to give you a look out the window this morning. Let me try to do that. Let's look out the window. Not me, out the window. There you go. So that's the way it looks in the home weather office. We do have that mixture of a bit of clear and a lot of clouds, but it is dry. Here at the home weather office, we really didn't see much in the way of rain, but some areas did yesterday. So for that, let's go to the CNRFC, California Nevada River Forecast Center. Love this site. And this is the 24-hour rain. So as you can see here, I've got observed precipitation, and I've clicked the box for 24-hour rain. Did see some nice cells yesterday on radar around Arnold. And as you can see, did get some spots saw a little bit more than 1/10 of an inch of rain. Into Sacramento County, we were seeing 0.02, 0.04, that sort of thing. But farther to the north, we probably had some sprinkles around Roseville. Looked like there's some activity up around Lincoln, but nothing measurable in terms of rain. Placerville, same thing. And I was in this area yesterday, and there was some rain, but it didn't amount to the 0.01 you need to get to on this map. Stockton around 1/10 to 2/10, and Modesto 2/10. So that's nice. But the areas that saw the best rain were here on the Coast Range. You can see these areas that are in blue, these spots that are in blue. That's when you get up to a 1/2 inch of rain or more. So you can call that a beneficial rain on these grassy areas in the coastal range, which is really nice because, of course, one of the things we're worried about when we get these storms, the lightning, well, let's go to watch duty. Now, watch duty shows that there were a couple of small fires here, but they've been extinguished. So we saw some just to the east of Sonora, 0.01 acres, 0.04 acres. And when you click on those, it'll show you that they're out. So that was nice. So yesterday we had lightning in the area. But if you look at the big picture, everything's really quiet, which is nice. And with that beneficial rain in the Coast Range, it kind of soaks the grasses a little bit and makes them harder to start. Today, the activity is going to be generally in this area, so we'll see if we get any additional lightning strikes during the course of the day today. The 500 millibar chart, big low spinning around here, and that's what we showed you on the satellite, just kind of spinning around here, and the circulation around that corresponding with what I showed you on the radar. As we go through the day today, it kicks inland. This is tomorrow, late tonight, or early tomorrow morning. The low is now down to the south. We switch around to a north flow, and that will bring warmer days and dry days for Northern California as we head into Friday, Saturday, and into Sunday. That low eventually will get kicked out. And then here's the system we're looking at for next week that I'll talk more about here in a minute. But yeah, this isn't, the monsoon sort of thing. No, this is a nice deep low that will bring us a chance of rain for next week. But I'll get to more on that in a second. Let's start with what's happening today. And this is the 12Z HRRR, once again back to the COD site. And this is around midday. Maybe a shower, according to this model. Maybe in the Ione area or Jackson, and then along the crest of the Sierra. And then into the afternoon, maybe from Tahoe, certainly Alpine County, Mono County, down toward Bodie and Bridgeport, and then perhaps into the Yosemite Valley. And I would say that Arnold might be in the mix again today based on this model. But as you can see, nothing for the valley as that low begins to move inland. All the activity goes with it. And then during the day, Friday, everything is dry, except maybe south of Mono Lake, maybe down toward the Bishop or Mammoth area, we may see some activity on Friday. But then we are dry as we head into the weekend. That's the way the HRRR shows it. Let's go to the NAM. This is the 12Z NAM. Looks a little bit more rambunctious in the middle part of the day than the HRRR did. And then as we head into the afternoon, same story. And this is around 5, 6 o'clock. Everything confined to the east side of the Sierra. So there are some differences in these two models in terms of what will happen through the middle part of the day. To me, this looks a little bit overdone, and I wouldn't expect you'd see heavy downpours. That could be a thunderstorm. So there may still be some spots of lightning. I would say Amador County, Calaveras County, and Tuolumne County are probably the best chances of getting some lightning during the course of the day today. So that's the short term. So let's now focus on what this might do. This is Tuesday of next week, and that low kicks in. This would certainly make for cooler daytime highs, perhaps only in the low 70s. For those of you that want to taste a fall, we may see highs only in the low 70s with a chance of rain. But beware, because beyond that, and this is all the way to next weekend, so we're talking 9-10 days out, the model's saying that once that trough moves out, another ridge moves in, and then we could see highs get back to the low 90s as we get into early October. But nothing hotter than that. All right, so now let's see what the GFS has to say about that. Now I've got a different product here, and this is instead of just precipitation, it's precipitation type. So this would indicate if there was any snow. And you don't see any blue here. This is Monday night, early Tuesday morning, some light rain. And then Tuesday, chance of showers here. There's a spot of blue way up there, but you don't see anything in the Sierra. And then everything clears out as we head into the day on Wednesday. But that could certainly be an interesting day. I would expect that the GFS would be somewhat overdone in terms of how much precipitation we would see. But still, I do think that there is a very good chance that we will see showers based around next Tuesday. And if you're somebody that works outdoors, let's say if you are planning on pouring concrete, I don't expect a lot of rain, but if you are a landscaper and let's say you have a concrete pour or any other, or let's say a roofer, I think next Tuesday is a day just to pay attention to see if we're going to see enough rain to impact your project. But other than that, things like in the Sierra, no, we're not going to see anything like that. And it also doesn't look thunderstormy at this time. It just looks like showers passing through. But either way, much cooler early next week. And like I said, in the comments section, I know a lot of you really are looking forward to some fall weather. And I think next Tuesday, Wednesday will certainly feel like that. But do keep in mind that beyond that, we'll likely see temperatures in the upper 80s and 90s again. So while 100s are done, 90s are not. We still have another few weeks to go before we get rid of 90s completely, but at least we won't see too many going forward in the next week or so. That's everything I have for you on this Thursday morning. Make it a great day. I'll talk with you later.